It's that time for Christmas cheer, and Pikachu and friends are ready to celebrate the holidays with you. Show off your Christmas spirit with a limited edition Pokemon Holiday Spirit t-shirts and hoodies. Get them now before January 2nd. I got an anime channel called MysticSage, where I do anime top 10s, speculations, and more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch to keep up to date with me, the channel, and even for some entertainment. Links will be in the description below. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. I can't believe the time has finally come. After all the weeks of waiting and talking about it, it's finally time for me to do the best team for Sword and Shield. With Sword going first, of course. Shield does have version exclusives, so there will be a different video for that. That video will be going up tomorrow. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, then I'm sure you know what a best team is. If you just got to my channel, then let me introduce to you what a best team is and the guest that's going to be joining me here today. Hey all, my name is MysticSage, and I'm here today to give Mystic a hand here with this list. On my channel, I do a lot of anime content such as top 10s, discussions, and a brand new series to my channel called the Best Team series. On my channel, we're going to be going over the best team for Naruto. Like anime and curious to see what that series is? Go check out my channel once you're done over here at the Best Team for Sword. Link to my video will be in the description and in the ad card in the corner. Enough of that though. Have fun talking about the best team, Umbreon guy. Who the heck was that guy? Anyways, a best team is a 6 of Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team revolves around a best starter choice and is then made into a team revolving around that said best starter. Each team is designed to do well against certain gym leaders, the Elite Four members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. In the end, we have a team that does well against all the most important battles in-game. I will also be providing a moveset for each of the other team members as well. There will also be coverage. So that's essentially what a best team is. With Sword and Shield though, there are some different factors that will be affecting this team. So allow me to explain those. As always, no egg moves. There are no post-game tutor moves in Sword and Shield that I'm aware of, so no worries there. The wild area Pokemon will be allowed on the team. You can't pick up any broken ones due to the level caps though. All the wild area Pokemon on this team will be available before post-game. TRs will be allowed, however I will only be including ones that can be found in max raid battles, 3 stars or below, and to make things easier, I'm just going to leave Serebee's link in the description below of where to find them. The charts are super easy to read and it's better for you to look there than it is for me to explain where to find every single one of these. They're scattered in a variety of eras, there are spawn raids, and some are even traded by the Watt Trader, which is nice. Also note that some of these TRs are also randomized. I could have not allowed for TRs, but that's just silly because TRs are what really can make a Pokemon powerful, so there was no way I could do that. TMs on the other hand, I have no problem talking about where to find them because I usually do and they're set in one place. Alright, with that introduction out of the way, let's hop right into the best team for Sword and Shield. You guys all must be wondering what the starter Pokemon is for Pokemon Sword. I think most of you guys are going to guess Inteleon. I mean, you would be right if a certain Pokemon in Galar didn't exist. I'll talk about that later. The starter that is the best though is Cinderace. If you're wondering as to why Cinderace is the best, head over to Rise's channel where he explains it all. He's done the research and has a complete analysis as to how he came to that result, so go check out the best starter for Sword and Shield in the description and in the iCard above. Going into Cinderace's moveset, we have Fire Fang / Fire Punch, Low Sweep, Pyro Ball, and U-Turn. Before you get Fire Fang and Fire Punch, you're just going to use whatever fire move it can learn via level up. Fire Fang's TM can be purchased in the Hammerlock Pokemon Center that's farthest to the right. You'll be using that for most of the game until you go to Winden. Fire Punch will then be able to be purchased at the Pokemon Center right next to the stadium. Next is Low Sweep, and that TM can be found on this small island in the bridge-filled area. You won't be able to get it until you get the Rotom Bike upgrade after the 6th gym, so until then, just use that infamous double kick. Pyro Ball is next, and that is a move that Cinderace learns upon its evolution, so you're good there. And finally, U-Turn's TM can be found in Glimwood Tangle. With the moveset we have selected for Cinderace, it's going to quickly make work of Milo's team. Technically, B's Pangoro have double kick, but there are better options out there. Opal's Mawile, Gordy's team if you're feeling like taking a risk. Pierce's Malamar and Obstagoon. Low Sweep works on Scrafty too, but there are better options on the team. Raihan's Duraludon, Oleana's Frostlass and Serena. All of Trim and Rose's team. Hop's Trevenant, Snorlax and Rillaboom, and Marnie's Scrafty and Morpeko. For the Champion Cup, Marnie's Liepard, Scrafty and Morpeko. Hop's Dubwool, Corviknight, Snorlax and Rillaboom. Bede's Mawile, Raihan's Duraludon, and finally Leon's Aegislash and Mr. Rhyme. Cinderace is undoubtedly the best starter, and I think it'll be one of the select few that will make a big break into competitive. Time will tell with that one, but at the very least, we know it does super well on a best team. Coming up next is a returning member to the Best Team series, being Roserade. Roserade has always been a pretty solid Pokemon, and Generation 8 is no exception. First, we're going to capture ourselves a Badoo, and that's going to be found on Route 4. It'll then evolve into a Roselia with high friendship during the day, which fortunately has been made a bit easier in Sword and Shield. Then finally, to evolve into Roserade, you'll need a Shiny Stone, which you can either get from the Dig Brothers if you're lucky, or just simply on Route 8. Just go up to the second ladder past the Scientist, then go down and to the left. Roserade has solid stats, more notably its 125 special attack, 105 special defense, defense and a pretty decent 90 base speed. Yeah, it has a pretty frail HP and defense stat, but it will be able to still hold its own for a while dishing out some hard hits. So that's why it's on this team. With that being said, let's hop into its moveset. So for its moveset, we have Giga Drain, Venoshock / Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam, and finally Shadow Ball. Giga Drain can be learned via Move Learner once you evolve it, and personally, I think it's the best grass stab move it has access to. If you have any PP ups, I would also recommend using it on this move. 10 PP isn't really a lot to work with. Sludge Bomb is our next stab move. This is our first TR move and can be found in dens 29 and 60. Remember to check the link to Serebii in the description for all information on where these dens are located and how to get them. If you don't want to use this particular TR, I recommend Venoshock, which can be found on top of a roof and stow inside. Dazzling Gleam is another TR that's here for coverage against fighting, dark, and dragon types. And finally, Shadow Ball is our last piece of coverage for psychic and ghost types. This TR can be found in dens 6, 43, and 47. With these moves we've chosen for Roserade, it will do well against Ness's team, B's team with Dazzling Gleam, Opal's team except Mawile, Gordy's team, Pierce's team except Skuntank, Ryan's Gigalith and Sandaconda, and Oleana's Milotic and Serena. For the Champion Cup, Roserade does well against Marnie's Liepard, Scrafty, Morpeko, and Grimmsnarl, Hop's Rillaboom, Bede's team except Mawile, although they're also psychic types, so you can use other members to help deal with Bede, Ness's Barraskewda, Sea King, Dreadnought, B's entire team, Ryan's Gudra and Flygon, and finally Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult, Haxorus, and Inteleon. As you can see, Roserade takes care of a lot of Pokemon in the Galar region and is definitely the best grass choice for a team that doesn't have Rillaboom on it. At the number 3 spot, we have a newcomer to the best team series, which might surprise a lot of you, and that Pokemon is Lucario. Yeah, I was pretty shocked that Lucario was a newcomer as well, especially because I've been watching Mystic's channel for years. I mean, it's just so good. It just doesn't make sense that it's never been on one. Now, I will say getting Lucario will be a bit of a challenge, but it's definitely worth the hunt. You'll want to look for Riolu and Giant's Cap during a snowstorm. It's got a 5% chance to appear in the overworld under those conditions. I know that might be a pain in the butt, but trust me, you won't be disappointed. Riolu will evolve into Lucario with high friendship during the day, which we've already had to do with Badoo, so no problem with that method. If you want extra help, just use Soothe Bell. You can get one in Hammerlock from an NPC. Lucario is a very solid mixed attacker with nice speed and decent enough defenses. And with the minimal weaknesses and resistances to half of the types, Lucario is bound to be one of the best Pokemon we have on this team. Moving to the moveset, we have Aura Sphere, Bulldoze / Earthquake, Flash Cannon, and Ice Punch. Aura Sphere is one of the absolute best moves Lucario can learn, as it has a solid 80 base power and has the added bonus of never missing. Lucario will learn this move as soon as it evolves from Riolu. Next, we have Earthquake, which can actually be purchased from one of the Watt traders for 8,000 watts. Now they do cycle through their inventory daily, so if they happen to not have it, or you just simply don't want to grind out the watts, then Bulldoze is your next best option. That TM can be found in Giant Seat to the left of this huge rock formation in a bush. Next is Flash Cannon, which is yet another TR move that can be found in Den 11. And finally we have Ice Punch, which can be found alongside Fire Punch at one of the Wind and Pokemon centers. It'll really serve you as a nice coverage move against the Dragon, Flying, Grass, and Ground Pokemon of the region. With these moves, Lucario can put in work against Beast Pangoro, Opal's entire team, Gordy's entire team, Pierce's Scrafty, Skuntank, and Obstagoon, Raihan's Gigalith, and Duraludon, Hop's Heatmore, Snorlax, and Boltund, Marnie's team, Oleana's Frostlass, Serena, Salazzle, and Garbodor, Chairman Rose's Ferrothorn, Berserker, Klinklang, and Copperajah. For the Champion Cup, it is well against Marnie's entire team, Hop's Dubwool, Pinkerchin, Snorlax, and Rillaboom, Bede's entire team, Ness's Dreadnought, B's Hawlucha, Ryan's entire team, and finally Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult, Haxorus, and Mr. Rhyme. As you can see, Lucario is really worth having on the team. I know some of you might not like how we have to get it, but at the end of the day, it's 100% worth it. Next, we've got a brand new Pokemon in Barraskewda. Now, I put this on my top 10 worst Pokemon in Sword and Shield, and mostly bashed it on for looks. And while I still don't know how it will do in competitive at the moment, I've got to say it really surprised me with how good it can do in an in-game playthrough. You get this thing as an Arrokuda on Route 2, or on Holberry. It then evolves at level 26. It might be super frail with 61 HP, 60 defense, and 50 special defense, but it has monstrous attack being at 123, and 136 speed, making it really, really fast. It's honestly so much better than I could have possibly imagined, and I'd even go as far as to say it's a lot better than Inteleon. I hope you Inteleon fans don't get mad at me. I'm not going out of my way to hate on it, it's just the reality I see. If you Dynamax Barraskewda and use Max Geyser, it sets up Rain, which will double its already ridiculously high speed. It's just really good. Anyways, I'll stop gushing over and get into its moveset. For its moveset, we have Liquidation, Psychic Fangs, Poison Jab, and Ice Fang. Liquidation is a really solid water stab move for Barraskewda, which can be learned to level 48. Just use its earlier water moves until then. If you happen to come across its TR before that though, I would definitely recommend teaching it to Barraskewda. Psychic Fangs is next, and that's for the plethora of fighting types in this region. That will be found as a TR and can be located in Den 2. Next is Poison Jab, and that's here for the fairy Pokemon of this region. This TR can be found in Den 29. And finally we have Ice Fang, which is fortunately found as a TM in the rightmost Pokemon Center in Hammerlock. With the moves we picked up for Barraskewda, it can take care of Kabu's team, B's team except Pangoro, Opal's team except for Mawile, Gordy's team except for Barbaracle, even then you're going to be doing a lot of damage, Ryan's Gigalith, Flygon, and Sandaconda, Hop's Trevenant, Heatmor, and Rillaboom, Marnie's Toxicroak, Oleana, Salazzle, Serena, and Garbodor. In the Champion Cup, it does well against Marnie's Liepard, Toxicroak, Morpeko, and Grimmsnarl, Hop's Rillaboom, Bede's entire team aside from Mawile, Bee's entire team, Ryan's entire team, and finally Leon's Dragapult, Haxorus, and Charizard. Yeah, I think I might need to take back all that smack I talked about Barraskewda. It really is a beast, and while I think it's ugly on the outside, it's very awesome and beautiful on the inside. Our next member is a Pokemon that returns to the best team in Spirit, and that's Togekiss. Yeah, remember when it was on a best team but couldn't be evolved until post-game? Oh yeah, good times. Well anyhow, it's actually present on this team as we can evolve during the main story, which is fantastic. In terms of stats, Togekiss isn't the fastest in the world, but it's got decent health coupled with great special attack and defense. You first find Togepi in Bridgefield in normal, overcast, and foggy weather as a random encounter, and then evolves in the Togetic with High Friendship. It reaches its final stage with the help of a Shiny Stone, which you can get at the Lake of Outrage once you upgrade your Rotom bike. We already use the easier Shiny Stone in Roselia, but I suppose you could use that one on Togekiss instead and wait to evolve Roselia. It's really up to you. For its moves, Togekiss will have Air Slash, Aura Sphere, Dazzling Gleam, and Psychic. Air Slash will be learned once Togetic evolves, and will be the best flying stab move it has access to. Aura Sphere is a move that you will have to go to the Mover Learner to get. Thankfully, they're in every Pokemon Center and it costs nothing, so thank you for that, Game Freak. Dazzling Gleam's TR is next, and that can be found in Den 33. And lastly, we have Psychic's TR, which can be obtained in Den 14. Togekiss's move pool is built to deal with Beast Team, Pierce's Scrafty, Malamore, and Obstagoon, Raihan's Gigalith, Flygon, and Duraludon, Hop's Trevenant, Snorlax, and Rillaboom. Marnie's team, just be careful of Scrafty and Morpeko, Oleana's Serena, Salazzle, and Garbodor, just be careful, and technically Chairman Rose's team with Aura Spear, but it's pretty risky. For the Champion Cup, it is well with Marnie's entire team, Hop's Double and Snorlax, Ness's Dreadnought, Bee's entire team, Ryan's Goodra and Flygon, and finally Leon's Dragapult and Haxorus. Yeah, even though Mystic messed up on that OG Heart Gold and Soul Silver team, you can see why he really wanted to use it. It does amazingly well and is super fun to use. Here's a proper welcome to the best team series, my friend.
Peter.
Well, alright folks, Peter Griffin is back for the 10 millionth time for the best team. This dude isn't even a veteran at this point in time, it's just a regular contender at this point. I say this about Snorlax all the time. It's filler, has a great move pool, stats are great, it's an offensive tank, best filler mon in this game, like how it is in almost all other Pokemon games. Run whatever you want, etc. Oh, you can also find Munchlax at the Monostoke River walking in the overworld in normal weather. It's a 5% chance to find, but I wish you guys the best of luck. He's a chonky man, but he's a lovable oaf. Speaking of chonky, if you can, make its ability be thick fat. If you can't, don't sweat it, it won't be that impactful if it has immunity. Going into its moveset, we have Body Slam for basic stab, High Horsepower for coverage against Steel and Rock types, Zen Headbutt for those fighting types, and Thunder Punch because we need something for Ness's Golisopod and Pelipper. Body Slam can be learned to level 28, and that's the best normal stab it can get. Like I said, Return is gone, so that's really unfortunate. High Horsepower is awesome, and that can be learned to level 40. You can get Earthquake if you want, but I don't think it's worth the effort when there's only a 5 base increase in the power and accuracy. Zen Headbutt is a TR move, and that can be found at Den 13. That will come in handy for fighting types that Snorlax struggles against. Only used in a last resort though. Thunder Punch is the last move, and that can be found at the Winden Pokemon Center, like with Ice Punch on Lucario. Lots of coverage and lots of fun. Let's see how Snorlax does against the trainers. Let's show him best team for Kanto style. Lastly, our chunky Snorlax is built with versatility in mind, and is set up to fight against Opal's Mawile, Gordy's Team Bar the Shuckle, Pierce's Skuntank, Ryan's Gigalith, Duraludon and Flygon, Marnie's Toxicroak and Morpeko, Hop's Heatmor, Bolton and Pinkerchin, Oleana's Salazzle and Garbodor, Trim and Rose's Persiker, Klinklang and Caparaja, and lastly at the Champion Cup, Ness's entire team with Thunder Punch, would not recommend Beast team with Sudden Headbutt, Ryan's Turtonator and Duraludon, and Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult and Haxorus. I love Snorlax. It's one of my favorite Kantomons, and I gotta say, probably one of the coolest looking Pokemon I've ever seen. And with all that being said, don't think we forgot about the boss fight against Eternatus. Now, of course, we have a good amount of help from Hop, Zacian, and Zamazenta, but Eternatus is no joke. I mean, look at these stats in its Eternax form. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. But with that being said, if you go in with the right Pokemon, you can take it down well enough. The Pokemon from this team that will do best against it are Lucario, Barraskewda, Togekiss, and Snorlax. My personal recommendation would be Snorlax, as it has 2 of Eternatus' weaknesses for moves. It's pretty bulky and can hit hard. Well, that wraps up this best team for Sword. This first best team for Gen 8 was really a lot of work. It got really depressing to write at times because of those dang technical records. They're really cool in concept for sure, but man, I really dislike them for making my job harder when it comes to creating best teams. With that being said though, this was an exciting team to build because honestly there were so many great Pokemon to consider when building the team because of the solid selection of Pokemon in the Galar region. There were definitely a lot of interesting teams to face off against as well. And while they may not be the most difficult games in the world, they were certainly fun and I've loved playing them over the last few weeks. What'd you guys think though? Did you enjoy this team or would you change it up a bit? Definitely let me know in the comments below and be sure to stay tuned for the best team for Shield tomorrow. And one more big shout out to my man MysticSage for giving me a hand on this list. No problem, Mystic. It's not like you and I are the same person or anything at all. I swear I'm not weird. For real though, if you guys enjoy anime and want to see the best characters in Naruto on the Ultimate Team, then go check out the best team for Naruto over on my channel MysticSage. That video will be in the iCard and description below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on. That way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on MysticSage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Austin Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, and Enigma97 did. And I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.